I'm just happy to be second again. I seem to be consistently second at the moment.
Well, you never know. Andrew's got his first win of the year, so perhaps yours will come tomorrow.
It's really good. I mean, it's all about the start. I think if I can get off the line a bit better, then I think it would be, once you're in the front, I think it's harder for someone to overtake, so it should be good.
Very quickly, background before coming into the CityCar Cup?
I've done a lot of karting since I was 8, outdoor karting, grew up, and then I went rallying for a while. And then CityCar Cup, because it's just great fun. The racing's so close, and it's a way of enjoying your motorsport, really. So really enjoy it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Stuart. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the podium. Lovely.
So, great to hear from our podium finishers in the CityCar Cup. Or just one or two of the slight technical glitches with the camera there. We'll get those fixed as quickly as possible for you. But now on track, as you can see, it's time for more National Legends action. And this is for the heat number 2, which is another 10 laps of racing coming up for these little cars. Of course, we saw earlier on, it was Steve Whitelake who took the victory from from John Mickle and then from Marcus Pett. So we're looking to see if it's more of the same coming up in a moment. So I'll just quickly give you the grid for this second race. So heat number 1, heat number 2 we've had. We'll give you the short grid for that if we can. So it's pretty much, I think, looks like a relatively jumbled up grid once again. I could notice towards the front that the number 1 car was in there too, of John Mickle. So just trying to search for the grid for heat 2. Quickly run you off the first few rows before they go off. The runyourfeet.com Jaguar safety car is away, and they'll start to form out neatly in 2 by 2. So Nick Bridgman on pole position, Miles Rudman, the championship leader, alongside him on the front row of the grid. It's Jack Parker and Gareth Sheridan on the second row, and Gary Whitelake and John Mickle on row 3. Then Will Gibson and Florian Robin on row 4. And rounding at the top 10, the Beatties, Kieran and Mark. That's race 1 winner, Steve Whitelake. He's back in 23rd on the grid. He's got some work to do from row 12 as they head off towards turn 1 for the first time. And it is Miles Rudman, the champion leader, who will take the whole shot round the outside into turn 1. Up towards the hairpin they go. And it's a good start also for Nick Bridgman, holding on to second place. Into third has gone Jack Parker. They're 3 abreast behind. John Mickle's in there as well in car number 4. That's the chrome car with the red numbers. Car 89 getting in the mix. Chris Brockhurst, he was up towards the front. He's up in 12th, 1 car off on the grass. Can't see the number. But he's dropped back now towards the bottom end of the midfield as they turn out through the right-hander at Church and now onto the sprint towards the top now. The change for second, because we see that car 13, Jack Parker, has got past Nick Bridgman. Battle's gone already, you can see. There's the van car, the van legend, number 20 volume legend, number 29, Nathan Anthony. And they're 3 and 4 abreast into the complex at Rocket. Brilliant stuff to watch. These brilliant little buzzsaws are great fun. As for Steve Whitelake, he's just there, the red car number 66, the little pack going up the inside of number 3. That's Mike Schlupp, so he's already made up, I think, roughly around about 3 or 4 positions on the opening lap. There's been lots of shuffling around. 33 is also made up. That's Kieran Beattie in there too. And number 98 diving up the inside. That's one of the front runners from earlier on, Chris Needham. Chris did have, I think, 1 or 2 issues which pushed him back down the order, so he didn't quite have the best of times. But down the back straight they go towards the hairpin for the first time. And I can see just off the screen, John Mickle was trying to dive round the outside for what will be third position. The second pack, which is currently led at the moment by number 33, which is Kieran Beattie, and he has got Chris Needham's 98 car right behind him as he darts out to try and make a move for 6th position. So the black and green car just middle of shot going up the inside of the orange number 33, and there goes Needham up to take up another place. So end of the first lap of this second 8-lap heat here at Anglesey. Miles Rudman, the defending champion and points leader, in front, 6/10 of a second advantage over the 57 of Will Gibson. So Will Gibson's had a flyer up there up to 2nd place. So he started back in 7th on the grid. You see a lock up there from Chris Needham as he turns out through the banking. But 3rd place then for number 13, Jack Parker. 14th is John Mickle, number 4. He's all over the back of Parker as he turns out through Church. Wider for Parker over the curb, and that will give Mickle the momentum advantage he needs. He pulls out to driver's right there, side by side through School Corner. And the multiple-time champion makes it look like a breeze as he eases his way past Jack Parker on the run up towards the braking zone at Rocket. Now he's in contention for a victory. What a battle this could be. Mickle versus Rudman at the front. Further back, it's Needham 6th position. Kieran Beattie was 7th, but he's now been pushed down by the 99 car, which is Gareth Sheridan. He started 4th on the grid. Yes, there he is. The 68, sorry. 68's moved up the order there. So that is car 68 grid, which is Nick Bridgman. He was the man that started on the front row of the grid. So he's got some work to do after he stood back. But of course, with these being random grids, the faster drivers do have to start picking their way through, and others who start towards the front do fade in the early laps because they're just not able to match the exact same pace as those out in front. Down the back straight towards the bus stop. So Rudman, Gibson, now John Mickle in 3rd, Parker 4th. Next pack comes through, headed by, looks like I think Needham in 5th position. It is, yep, so Needham in 5th place. Bridgman 6th, Sheridan 7th. Marcus Pett, who got on the podium in the first heat, he's up to 8th place now. The Beatties are now 9th and 10th. So they started on the 10th, on the 5th row of the grid, and they're essentially back where they started after quite a sharp start. And there in 66 is the heat one earlier on, Steve Whiteleg, high up in the points. He's in amongst some of his teammates here, trying to make his way through. As I said earlier on, it's the first time that we've had the legends with us on the Brscc package, and it's wonderful to have them. And one car, legend very high up onto the grass. That was car number 3. So that was Mike Schlupp, starting in 11th. He currently finds himself down below in 16th place. Not a few more spots also, but he's now down behind car 25, which is the legend of Simmons. He's one of our rookie drivers. He's back in 22nd position. So he started. Now he's stayed 22nd, hasn't made that much progress. Watching Steve Whiteleg round the outside of one of his teammates by the looks of it, car 33. That appears to be Kieran Beattie, so he's making up more places. So he's now starting to broach the top 10. Meanwhile, change for the lead because now it's car fitted Will Gibson into the lead, but in that scrap now that we anticipated might happen between John Mickle and Miles Rudman is just about to kick off here. They're starting to drop Jack Parker a little bit, and he's now starting to fall into the clutches of the black and green legend, and that is of Chris Needham. Needham was running well, strong in race one before he had some problems and dropped down the order, so good to see they've got those issues fixed. Car is back up to full strength for this second heat. Now out of the first corner, back down towards the banking. Gibson has the advantage, but I think in terms of places that you want to be at the moment out of this trio, you probably wouldn't want to be Will Gibson because, again, like the CityCar Cup cars that we just saw in this race prior, these are quite small, slightly aerodynamic cars, and because of that, they do punch quite a large hole in the air, can make strip streaming absolutely sensational for anyone that gets involved. Now, practically bump drafting his way through School Curve up towards Rocket with Miles Rudman. He's all over the back of Will Gibson. We're only just on half distance in this race. It's the first time that the Legends Championship has raced on the international layout of Anglesey since 2012. So it's literally 10 years since the last time they raced on this international layout. Previously, they've always raced on the shorter coastal layout, which instead of turning all the way left at this corner here, they would turn left and then dip down to the right. As all one car's come to a stop. I can't quite tell the number, but usually a car that has come to a stop will come up on the timing screen as having an exclamation mark and a yellow triangle. So watch for that one. Change for 4th up the inside. Jack Parker loses out to Chris Needham on that move, so Parker will try and fight back and tries to get the power down the back end, squirreling around these very lightweight, rapid little bike engined machines. Are absolutely a joy to watch, and again, big appreciation for them being on the timetable this weekend. So into the second half of the race we go then. Gibson still leads. New personal best for Miles Rudman, 143.156. He was a fraction faster John Mickle just fading here a little bit. He's lost a couple of seconds here. He's trying to keep close. He's now dropping back into the clutches of both Needham and also Jack Parker, so watch out for them. Now they make the sprint up towards the right-hander at Church. The gap is still 3/10 of a second. It doesn't look like 3/10 anymore because Gibson had a bit of relief down the pit straight, but now as he goes through school corner, I think they're starting to work together a little bit because there's a bit of bump drafting going on. But I wonder how long that will last, because I'm certain either on the second to last lap or even the last lap, that Rudman will want to try and time his move and make it stick. Rocket, Gibson, Rudman keeping glued firmly on his tail. Out through Peel corner. Rest of the top 10, Marcus Pett's currently sat in 6th position. Pole position Nick Bridgman, who drew pole position for Heat 2, back in 7th. Steve Whiteleg, who won the first heat, is back in 8th. And then he's just got the rest of the top 10, being Gareth Sheridan, who started in 4th. And Marcus Beattie, who ironically started, so Mark Beattie, who started in 10th, currently still sits in 10th position. So the grid position was quite representative of his pace by the looks of it. There goes Steve Whiteleg in the red number 66. More battles going on. Fairly colourful and bright field in the Legends cars. There's colours of all sorts here. There's got reds, oranges, blues, yellows, greens, you name it. There's all sorts of coloured cars in this field. Some great little liveries too. You can see there's different uniforms for different teams, so there's different sort of designs and style for different ones. This 89 gets very sad to shake Chris Brockhurst. That's not how you take the bus stop corner. And he's lost out 2 more spots. So he's now lost out, I think, both to Sheridan and to Beattie. So Brockhurst, who was up there in 11th place, is now back down to 9th. Well, at least it looked like he managed to get up to 9th because he shows on the timing screen as not having lost the position. So I think he must have got up to 9th place and then been a little bit too overzealous on the brakes, trying to get himself ahead. And as a result of that, lost out in particular. Now, what's intriguing is that, for one, Jack Parker has dropped back, and it looks like that Chris Needham is giving the push that John Mickle needs to catch up to the top 2, because Gibson and Rudd are quite a bit closer now to Mickle and Needham. In fact, there they are. So it's 4 of them together for the lead. Gibson, Rudd, Mickle and Needham. That's your leading quartet. Out through Peel. A little wide there with a bit of a twitch of oversteer for Gibson, but he controls it well. There goes Mickle with a dive up the inside into the hairpin. And I don't think Rudsman saw that coming. Now, whether he'll let him have that or possibly try and get him back on the next switch back on the undercut, running towards the hairpin. But at the moment, Rudman says, not on your life, sunshine. Get back behind me and try again another lap. And he goes, all right, then I'll go back up the inside into the hairpin, which he almost manages. But Rudman firmly shuts the door again. And this now gives the opportunity for Needham to get back through as well. Now the sprint back down the straight towards the bus stop. A little bit of relief for Andrew Jones. He's got a tiny bit of breathing space for a moment because Rudman and Mickle are so busy looking in each other's mirrors and battling amongst each other that it's just allowing him to have a small half a legend length, if you want to call it. Needham there in 4th place is keeping a watching brief too. We're on the second to last lap. Still 2 laps to go. This long international circuit means that we do, it's still a relatively long race itself. The lap times are up in the 143s and 144, so you can get quite a bit of time worth of racing in this one. About roughly, I'd say about 15 minutes worth of racing or so, depending on the conditions. Battle's going on. It looks like Brockhurst is having a battle again. That looks like it's possibly with the 85s. That's one of the Beatties again. That's Mark Beattie. Also in there too is Nathan Anthony in the number 29 First of all Van's Legends, the Van Body Legends car. And also in between them, it looks to be 51 and 14. The 14 is Dan Clark, 51 is Paul Simmons. So Clark and Simmons are getting in there as well. And this big scrap that's going on here is just outside the top 10. It looks like I think Brockhurst has got past the Beatties. So it looks like he's got himself just into the top 10. So it's 10th down to about 14th or 15th place. So lots of mid-pack shuffling going on here in this second Legends heat. Now then, change around again because Miles Rudman's hit the front. He takes the lead. And now for second place, there goes John Mickle trying to look down the outside. They all lock up. Needham's getting involved as well, tries to get the power down as he pushes his way down towards the hairpin. There almost a bit of contact there, I think. I don't think there was, but it was quite close. As Mickle darts to the outside line. And Gibson gives him enough room, but just squeezes him towards the edge. And then maintains the lap. On to the last lap of this second heat. Of course, then we'll have our 25-minute final later on as our last sprint race of the day, before we get set for our 4.5-hour into the night endurance race for the C1 Racing Club. So out of the banking and now towards Church for the final time. Is Will Gibson going to have enough momentum through Church here to mount a challenge, or is he going to become slightly a sitting duck here? Because John Mickle got a good run through School Corner with a bit of a push possibly from Chris Needham. He might have an advantage here, but a super toe from Gibson puts him to the outside line. Here comes the lead battle up towards School Corner, in towards Rocket. Gibson gets his nose in front and Mickle sideways. He's almost out of shape and just about catches it. I was about to ask the question, how did he do that? Then I remember he's a multi-time champion in his car, so that's why he was able to hold that slide. It looked like it was almost out of control until John Mickle decided, nope, I've got this, and he managed to hold on and make the move stick. Now, Gibson's gone back up the inside of Rubman to take the lead again. Rubman now under threat from Mickle. And Needham might be biding his time here to try and get past all three if they come together. They've only got 3 more corners to go. Through the corkscrew. And now over the crest on the Tom Price straight towards the international hairpin. There's going to be a big move. It'll have to come here. Someone will have to come from quite a long way back to make this happen. But Gibson's wise, puts his car right in the middle of the road to prevent any chance of getting through. Makes it the widest legend in the venue. And now out of the hairpin towards the bus stop for the final time. It's 4 of them together, and Rubber will have one last chance down towards the left-hander. 1 corner to go, 1 more passing opportunity. Rubman tries the undercut, but he didn't count on Mickle going up the inside. Rubman goes straight round the outside of the swing to the flag. It's going to be side by side, 3 abreast. They're on the grass onto the runoff area. Cross the line they go, and Gibson somehow holds on. The finish perceives that Gibson wins for Mickle and Rubman. The top 3 were covered by 0.176 of a second. Top 4 covered by a fraction under 6/10. What a thrilling finish to that second heat here in the Legends Cars Championship with MRF Tyres. Brilliant stuff from the Legends, as always, if you've ever seen them before. If you happen to be watching around the circuit, give these guys a wave and a clap, because they absolutely deserve it, as well as you guys watching at home. But Will Gibson just about holds on. He holds off one of the greats of Legends Racing, John Mickle, and the defending champion, Miles Rubman, to take an excellent victory. Great stuff. So the rest of the field just behind us, they come through. Marcus Pett was best, the rest in 5th position. They were some 6 seconds back from that scrap, so that just shows the pace that these 4 had collectively. And then 5th for Marcus Pett. That's a good strong result for him after he got his podium, and he was 3rd in the first heat, so that's a good strong result for him. And that might well work out for a good starting position for the final in a moment. Well done to Will Gibson. Turns his way up towards there. So here's the provisional result. Will Gibson takes the victory, but only just after that last corner skirmish. John Mickle takes 2nd, Miles Rubman takes 3rd, Chris Needham 4th, with the top 4 covered by just under 0.6 of a second. Marcus Pett best of the West in 5th. Stephen Whiteleg charges through to 6th position after he started back in 23rd on the grid. And Jack Parker, Nick Bridgman, Gareth Sheridan and Chris Brockhorst. Then Mark Beattie finishes 11th from Daniel Clark. Nathan Anthony, Paul Simmons and Kieran Beattie were top 15. Then Charles Budd, Ollie Schlupp, Luke Simmons, Ben Higgins and Mike Schlupp rounds out the top 20. And then the rest of the field on your screen right now to come through. 21st is Luke Takushis, Bill Reed, Florian Robin, Stuart McAndrew and Leonard Woodcock. Gary Whiteleg was the only car that we lost, and he retired in the opening few laps. And Chris Needham, meanwhile, who finished in around about 4th position, he took the fastest lap of the race, 1:42.785. So the Legends will once again head towards Parc Fermé. They'll regroup for later on when they will take part in the final 25 minutes of racing. So if you thought those 2 heats were exciting, you're going to get a full 25-minute marathon compared to these 8 laps sprints. And that will essentially crown the round winner, because then if for tomorrow's races, they'll do it all again. They'll do 2 more heats. They'll qualify in the morning, have 2 more 8-lap heats, and then have another 25-minute race to round off that day's racing as well. So the cars have made their way down towards the Parc Fermé. The top 3 are down in pit lane, and so is Richard John Neal, to find out just how those top 3 felt after a simply breathless finish to that 2nd Legends heat. What a race.
There by the Legends cars. I was watching in the commentary tower. With a lap to go, I thought, no, that's all pretty much settled, and came downstairs in time to see that fantastic finish that we had there. So Will Gibson's It's Will, can I get you over here for the interview? I know, celebrate, we're stuck for time because the supercarts are waiting to go out as well. So apologies, Will, for cutting in. The supercarts are getting ready to go out. We'll let you get your crash helmet off. I thought that was done and dusted, but tell us about that last corner move.
I don't know. Miles tried round the outside. He was probably slightly ahead as we went into the last corner and tried the wall of death, and I tried to give him a space. I didn't want to run him off the track, and I think he just had enough space, but we both got on the power so hard, and yeah, that was close. That was really, really close. That's classic Legends racing, that.
And John in the mix as well. It's you three at the top of the table, really showing everybody here on out.
Yeah, I don't seem to check out. I saw Chris.
And Chris got fastest lap.
Yeah, he looked like he was flying. It's there's such a massive slipstream going on the back straight. I don't think being first on the last lap is really where you want to be, but yeah, it's great. Just thanks to everyone. Hello to everyone watching. Yeah, cracking.
Well done, congratulations on that. Very quick interview, apologies for the quick interview. We're going to get John Mickle, he's just congratulating Miles Rudman and vice versa there. So we'll get John over. John's going to be the top point scorer. Point scorer in race 3, but tell us about that race first of all.
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, obviously Miles and Will was up front this time, so we got through the traffic. The quick steel car was good. We had losing a bit of oil through the race, so our visibility was a bit iffy. It was all over the visor, but we can fix that. That's good to get it back out for the final. But as you're right, we're near off the back, so we've got a bit more work to do in the final.
But that's why you like Legends, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, whoever's watching that race must be jumping off their seats because no one knew who was going to win going into that last bend, and it was anybody's. And I think it must have been less than a quarter of a second between the top 3.
It was so close, and nice to see you and Miles acknowledging each other. I know there was a bit of drama with you two at Brands.
Yeah, what's on the track stays on the track, and what's off is off, and you wipe yourself down and go again.
Nice one, John, well done.
Thank you.
Might see you on the podium for the final. Let's get Miles Rudman over. Miles, we're going to bash in and get you on for the interview. Congratulations, mate, and obviously leading that early doors and then late doors, but that's Legends and presumably why you do it.
Yeah, I think I just took the lead back again a lap before the last lap, which was a bit too early, and then yeah, he's just got the draft on me up the big straight, which he was always going to do that, but tried to go for the first place on the last corner around the outside, but yeah, it's just carried. That, so yeah, good race anyway. So
a good championship lead. I think I was saying to my son on the way up here that you could sit out races 1 and 2 and you'd still have the championship lead, but you're still going for those points and places.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've got a decent lead anyway, so you know we don't really need to do anything stupid, but you know we're always here to win, and you know we want to get wins and race. Yeah, so we will always do our best, but yeah, we were happy with that result in the end.
Happy with the car for race 3?
Yeah, so far car seems really good, so we'll see how it goes in race 3.
Okay, cheers for talking to us. Well done on the podium, Miles. Great race. Miles Rudman, their third position. John Mickle in P2, and Will Gibson, the race winner here on Anglesey. Supercarts next up. Some of the drivers in Legends have come from Supercarts. Some of them have done it in the past and gone back to Supercarts. So we've got a great race coming up. So I'll hand you back to Scott Woodward, who'll call you through the latest formula for you to see here on our Brscc race day.
Thank you indeed, Richard. Yes, we've got some excellent action coming up, from one small little set of pocket rockets to another, because of course we've now got the first of 3 races this week.